Hey, what's up? It's DJ. Welcome back to the game room. You may remember that last week, the Assetto Corsa EVO update 0.3 came out, and I did a video on it. However, there was a problem. I was playing on the beta update of 0.3, not the public release. So when I was going through being like, check out this car, this is cool, check out this track, this is pretty cool, that's all that video was supposed to be. And then the day after I recorded it, by the way, a day before it was supposed to be released anyway, the update came out. And so like the video sucked and it was very incomplete. So I wanted to kind of like right that wrong today, go over a few things that I think are super duper cool, maybe some big game changers or just some awesome stuff. And we're going to drive every car that came with this patch, and we are also going to drive on both of the racetracks. It's going to be a fun day. This might be a little bit of a long video, but it's going to be fun. So starting with the main thing with this, multiplayer is now supported. Up there on the top, 16-player multiplayer support. They do say that it will rise progressively up to track capacity and beyond, which is very neat. And also servers available in Africa, Asia Pacific, Australia, EU, Latin America, Middle East, UK, and US. Additionally, we got a new tire model, or updated tire model, I guess. The evolution of thermal behavior and updates to tire compounds. Super cool. We also got some really nice updates to audio as well. Revamped ignition and startup sounds, which I recognized the last time, and I didn't say anything, but God, it was good. Actually, I think I mentioned it in the last video. Realistic backfire implementation, which I try to avoid because it freaks me out, and physics-based audio implementations, improvements, wrong word. If I move my big head, we've got a new MFD on here with real-time gaps display, official leaderboards, and input and force feedback settings display, as well as a 1000 hertz damping algorithm, which provides more natural and detailed feeling in weight transfers. Ooh, yes, it does. I guess I'm just reading through everything, aren't I? We got graphical improvements, optimizations, UI improvements, as well as cameras. So improve the clarity of anti-aliasing and upscaling, which I don't think I'm doing either one of, but we'll take a look at that. Enhance the post-processing effects and improve dynamic global illumination. That's awesome. Optimizations to CPU and GPU performance. I'm using a Ryzen 7950X with a NVIDIA 4090, I think. Yeah, that's it. And also reduce the VRAM. So that doesn't matter for me, I guess, but that's pretty cool. Additionally, the speedometer widget features pit limiter and fully sports manual starter and ignition, pit lane menu quality of life, and home menu quality of life. And as far as cameras go, we've got a driving camera default improvements and introduction of onboard camera sets. Ooh, I need to figure that out. But probably the coolest things are the stuff that's going to be the most popular. We have new cars with the Audi RS6 Avant, BMW M4 GT3 Evo, as well as the E30, the Caterham 7 Academy race car, Dallara Stradale. We have a Dallara in here? Oh, I gotta check that out. Ferrari F2004, Lamborghini Huracan, Super Trofeo Evo 2, Mercedes-Benz 190. I don't need to repeat that. That one of the most beautiful MBs ever. And Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 Club Sport, which I'm really looking forward to. Racetracks, we showed these off in the last video. Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps and a Red Bull Ring. And miscellaneous, we got 2 new showrooms. We got a living room and Evo Garage. You like being red too? Crap, cut that part out. Do you like being red too? Because that's what I just did. Okay, leave that in. Also, by the way, every time you go into the game, you will see this pop up. So that's good news. So let's check out a couple scenes real quick. So we get the living room set up. How does this look? Ooh, that is very interesting. Oh, I like the stuff up on the wall. That is very, very neat. Oh, look, it showed it up. It's like it knew what I wanted to see. I apologize if the audio quality was bad. I just realized that I've been using the wrong mic preset. I'm so sorry. Here it is from a completely different angle. We got stuff on the wall. I think it's kind of neat. Jump back down into scene options. Let's see. Let's change that again. Click that. And we're going to go all the way down. If I can do that here to Evo Garage. Please be cool. Definitely cool. Oh, that's super awesome. I still kind of like the OG one that I had on, but this is neat. You know what? Just for funsies' sake, let's leave this here. Oh, look at the stuff in the corner. I have that stuff. Look. Look at him. That steering wheel. I mean, I guess I have that steering wheel? No, I don't. I mean, I technically do. It's here. I just have a different wheel. Sorry, freaked out. Oh, there it is again. Hey, I got those pedals that, yeah, I took off the clutch pedal just like they did. The RS wheel thing right there on the right-hand side. That's what I'm using. It's so cool. I didn't know they partnered with Logitech. That's awesome. We're just going to go in order here. The first one was the RS6 Avant. Woo, looking good. We've got quite a few different setups here. I'm going to remove my big old head so you can see. So down here we have the one with black interior. We have the glossy black package and contrast interior. Glossy carbon with contrast. Glossy carbon and Audi exclusive RS interior. And finally, the Tribute Edition. These are all going to be paint and design schemes on the inside. I'll be honest with you. I kind of want to go with the glossy carbon package and Audi exclusive RS interior. Yep, that's what I'm going for. I mean, it doesn't look bad, that's for sure. Let's configure it. I don't know if there's going to be a whole lot that we could do here. Let's see. We've got the body color itself, which could be changed up. I mean, and it changes pretty quickly as well. Ooh, look at that party blue. That's nice. I've always thought Audis looked best in like a silver or a black. Ooh, yeah, that's hot. That's real hot. But let's go with something pretty wild and crazy. How about green? Yeah, or yellow. I mean, the yellow looked great. That's pretty cool. We also have custom colors here if you want to go in and mess with everything. As far as the interior goes, we have a leather condo. Oh, what is it? Oh, look at that. Let's see. Zoom in just a bit here. We've got the manufacturer colors of the orange, blue. Oh, is that behind the seat? That is behind the seat. I mean, that's got to be red, right? That can't be anything other than red. Nice. And the wheels down here, we've got that as well. 21s or 22s. Goodness gracious. The 21s look fine, but the 22s just look absolutely awesome. These guys, silver. Ugh, no. Go back up. And apply. Back. And I think that's everything that we could do with this one. Next one was the M4 GT3 Evo. Now, this is actually something that we drove the other day, so if you wanted to see that, you definitely can. Also, I apologize, I'm using basically a track ball kind of thing. I don't know, what do you call this thing? That. I'm not a big fan. It works really nice when you're not doing anything, but you gotta use the mouse with your thumb. So don't expect a whole bunch with this, if I'm honest. We can go into configure here. Again, we've got the exterior, so exterior decal color. We can change this up. You've got a green segments, change stuff. I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure what's changing there, so we're just not gonna mess with it. We've also got a couple other stuff here. Let's see, let's go into custom. We could change up the rim color. That's cool, but I'm not gonna worry too much about that. And then as far as parts go, this is where it gets fun. So we have a ton of auxiliary stuff. So let's go with the endurance spec front bumper. Boop. Then we throw that on there. A couple little things change, but basically you just get headlights and this little cutout right here. That's kind of neat. And then we have all of the windshield. Everything gets a light. So we just start adding light strips to like everything. It's just light strips all over the place, man. Everywhere. All of across the top. I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of GT racing. It's fun. I like doing it, but I don't like, being there and stuff. But there you go. You've got all kinds of lights. Have at it, man. Have at it. You've also got the Race Logic timing device inside and the SAS safety device as well. And then we could change up the auxiliary lights colors. But that's about all I know about that. So we also got this guy. Yes, the M3 E30. It is a party car. We'll give it that much. I'm so glad I chose this background. It looks so good in here. This is pretty sweet. So let's configure this bad boy. Again, as per usual, we have the exterior, interior, and wheels. Exterior is just a body color. Interior, you've got seats in leather. That's about the only thing that could be changed up. And then wheels, we have a stock 16-inch alloy right there, which can be changed up. Now moving on, Caterham's finally in here. Caterham? I don't know. This is available with a couple different setups. You got the bi-tone design. You got the double striped design there. We have the triple stripe. And then lastly, we have the three-tone design. If you're looking for those stripes, those are going to be found on the top portion there. But I'm pretty partial to whatever's last. GTA made me do that. I apologize. Let's configure this bad boy, just see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into. So 4 sets here. So we start with the exterior. We have the body color, and then we have a painted trim color. Let's see. Let's change that to black, blue, orange. Not seeing anything that's changing with that. Oh, it's off. Let's turn that on. Oh, that looks ugly. No, put it back, put it back, put it back. Lights and mirrors. No, thank you. Wings in a body color, and we could do that. Yeah, there you go. Painted 7 grille color. Yep, we want that. And then the painted roll bar color as well. We will turn that on, and we will go for red because why not? Then we go to the interior, and let's see if we can zoom in here. There we go. It's about as good as it's going to get with this mouse. We got steering wheel, rim, and Alcantara, if you wanted it. As far as wheels, you got the dual tone and then the dual tone with colored rims. So let's check out the dual tone first. Aha, I see what they've done there. And then you can change up the rim color. Lastly, we have parts, interior accessories. Looks like we've got whatever those things are at the top. What's that? The smallest NOS bottles in the world? I'm not quite sure what those are. Now the Dallara. Ayo, we got 3 versions on the, well, it says 3 versions, but it's technically available in a couple different ones. So we get the paintable bodywork version. Then we have the exposed carbon bodywork. That looks pretty good. Then we have a painted bodywork, but this is in the Spider version. And we have the exact same thing with the carbon there as well. And then lastly, we have a track day version available both with painted and with carbon. I say we go with the track day version. It is the best one out of them all. Configurations, let's take a look. Configure. We've got, 4 parts here as well. Oh man, look at that. So we do have quite a few different color options: body color, rear wing, edge of cover, and wings. Now we do have lights and exposed carbon fiber around towards the front. Let's turn that off. I'm assuming we're just going to go with a yellow. No, it just kind of changes it up to gray. Well, that's all right. It is what it is. Let's go back. Boom. Then we have side panels and exposed carbon fiber down there. If we turn that off, yeah, it just kind of goes to a gray, doesn't it? It is what it is. Rear wing end plate in body color. I definitely want that. It makes the car look a little bit wider. That's pretty sweet. And rear wing end plate in carbon fiber, which I guess could be a thing, but I don't want that. I want it to be in the body color. Yay! And then we also have quite a few other colors as well for the brakes, scripting, badging, and exhaust tips. Now, as far as the interior goes of this, it is already pretty ugly as it sits right now. Brown is not a color. You've got the contrast stitching color on here. If we change that up to a red, I have no idea where this contrast stitching is, but maybe you do. Interior in a leather color? Please no. Oh, that's so much better. Oh, thank goodness. Headrest logo in a contrasted color? Sure. Well, it won't let me click it, so not quite sure what's up there. Interior in Alcantara and steering wheel in Alcantara. Yeah, I mean, you could do it if you wanted. Let's go for it. I wouldn't want to get it wet. So there's that. As far as our wheels go, we are stuck with a 17-inch at the front, 18s in the back, and those are going to be the OZ Racing Forge monolock wheel. Pretty, and we get wheel colors out of those as well. And then we've got parts. So, coupe doors. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't have. Oh, that's how you add the doors back on at the top. I was looking at the side being like, does it have doors? Front louvers, which can be removed, but I'd probably leave those on there for the race spec. We also have the Spider bodywork, race wing, and Targa bodywork, but with this default version, that is what we get anyway. And then we've got the manual gearbox and the track day setup. I'm curious, does it give us a stick in the middle? Oh, it does. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now we're gonna stick with the track day setup, and we're just gonna use what we've got. But I think this is our guy, man. Now another one that we've already driven around is that Ferrari F2004, available in 3 different versions. You got the 0, the 1, and the 2. And as far as I could tell, that's just changing the pod on the top. So the 0 is going to be the green, the number 1 is going to be red, and the 2 is going to be the blue. I like the green on the top, not just because I like Lando Norris. I promise I'm not annoying about him, you know, losing recently a lot or anything. Nope, not me, not at all. If we go in here, we can see there is nothing to do. What you see is what you get. And knowing Ferrari, they would probably come after you if you tried anything else. Now with this update giving us a lot of racing cars, we had the Huracan STO really early on, as a matter of fact. I think it came out in the second update or the first one maybe. However, this bad boy just dropped. Yes, please. Thank you very much. If we jump into configuration, we got 3 things here: exterior, wheels, and parts. In the exterior, it's just the body color itself. We do have a green, but this is kind of nice because we have all these colors which can be added. We get the livery, which stays on there, which you don't always get. I'm more partial to like the blue and the orange because that's what color my Lego set is of this. You know, but I guess I may have to stick with it. Let's see. You know what? For a race car, that red's not too bad. It ain't pretty, but it's not bad. You know what? How about we just stick with a black? And that is a terrifying looking vehicle right there. You can also do custom, of course, if you wanted. With the wheels, all you can do is change the color. And then, of course, in here, we have a bunch of stuff. So we do have the endurance spec front bumper. If we pop back out of that and take a look at it, we do get those headlights in there for a little bit of extra lighting, but otherwise not too much. And then we slowly start to add lights all the way around. And it does look, there has to be a number of them which can and cannot be added at the same time. Plus we have the Race Logic and the SAS device on the inside. And Mercedes, I know you've been waiting for this one. Oh, yes, please. I bet it's not going to drive great with me at the wheel, but you know what? We'll try it anyway. 3 things here: exterior, interiors. As far as the exterior, just a body color, but if you change it up from the classic black, you are crazy. Seats in a leather. If you're in this, yeah, you want the leather. And then the wheels, you have the 17 spoke with wheel colors. Didn't expect a whole lot, and really we didn't get a whole lot. And lastly, oh yeah, the Porsche 718 Cayman GT4. Did I just click out of that? I did click out of that. Let's click back into it again. Don't expect a whole lot, but with it being a GT4, we might get some pretty cool stuff. Let's take a look. Exterior, just the body color itself. Why don't we change that up a little bit? Yeah, we got the yellow livery on there, but let's see, OEM custom. Oh, that is the livery. Oh, neat. Green it is. That's what I'm talking about. Wheels, all we do is get a color option there. And then parts, we have the auxiliary LED strip, Luminite position display. We'll go with that. And then the Race Logic and the SES on the inside, as well as color options for those lights. Now, it would definitely be a lot if I went through and did every little itty bitty thing coming through here. But I do want to at least check out stuff, see exactly what we've got going on. There we go. Practice is perfect. Spa-Francorchamps, as much as I love it, you know what? We'll stick with it, at least for now. And since the Porsche 718 was the last thing that we customized, why don't we just start with that? Everything's cleared up. Everything is good to go. Let's do it, man. So all cars will be set on stock. As far as everything goes, it did look like traction control was either on 1 or 2, and ABS is on 8. So that is quite an interesting conundrum through there. Let's bring it around, nice and easy. So far, it feels great, very nice. I'm actually gonna have to cut off the headphones a little bit. There we go. Smooth drive a car. Again, definitely one that I would have expected to be quite smooth. I guess I didn't have to go down into fourth there, but this really isn't about my driving. It's about how this drives. And so far, so good. For the first time around, we're just gonna leave on traction control and ABS, the fuel, everything exactly the way that it comes by default. We're gonna leave exactly that. Perfect through there, nice. It's definitely feels on the slower side, but it's probably because I don't know the difference between kilometers and miles. 60 and 100, I think, is in there, but that's about it. The dashboard, I'll be honest, it looks kind of like the rest of them does. And as far as the engine note, it is real like, it's so much more raw than I was expecting. You could tell that the time that they spent putting it together was definitely worth it. Very cool, man, yeah. I don't feel like I could really push, not yet, though my tires are really not up to that point anyway. So there's no way I'm gonna be pushing a whole lot anyway. For the first one, as I mentioned, we're just gonna leave the settings where they're at. They seem very conservative right now, just like my driving, except my driving's not great at the moment. Yeah, the car's all right. I tell you what, get like a bunch of these out on track at once, especially with like you and your buddies. I think this, along with like a Miata spec or something like that, would probably be a little on the easier side to get out and just have some fun on a Friday or Saturday in the evening. I think that's kind of what this car is anyway, at least for the game. I don't want to speak too much about this car in real life because, well, I don't have one. I've never seen one. I've never driven one. I don't feel like that is a valuable metric for you. But I can tell you that in the game, not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right. The ABS seems very high. So I'm going to crank that down to like 4. And we're going to see if that actually does anything right here at the end of the straight. Yeah, I feel like it worked even better than it did all the way up. Traction control is definitely working. Even on 1, I think it's going to be more than you need. So there is that. Yeah, let's just kind of cruise it so you guys can hear exactly what it sounds like. Okay, so not too bad, not too shabby. There at the end, I did feel like the traction control was like needing to be a little bit more. Like right here, I'm gonna try and just gun it out. And yeah, I mean, 2 is too much, to be fair. We're gonna bring it down here a little bit. And let's just go with traction control all the way off. ABS, why not? And then I do want to turn my brake bias. I was 70% forward. No, thank you. Oh, that is just coming down. I don't know where it's gonna stop. All right, you ready? Let it go. Yeah, that spun out very quickly. Let's try it again. Yee-hoo! All right, so traction control, 1. That wins. What's next? So the next one, we are going for the Mercedes 190E. And you may have noticed I switched my setup here. Now, as far as ABS appears to be an on or off kind of a deal. Let's see, we're in our pit limiter. There we go. I'm not seeing anything. Actually, I think ABS is just, oh no, that's a wall. Oh, we just barely missed it. ABS on this one, just normal. Let's see, start off with 30 liters of fuel. Not too shabby. Sound is great, not as loud. I had to cut up my headphones here. Not as loud as the other cars. So we'll kind of go from there. Usually here, it does look like we've got 5 gears in total. Oh, tell you what, the ABS really works there, doesn't it? Do we have anything to stop traction control? Do we just not have any traction control? Or there's not enough power to run traction control? That could be it as well. Either way, it feels fine. It feels pretty normal. Yeah, not too bad. From the inside, looking good. I like that it's bouncing a little bit. We'll come down into here. Ease it on the brake. Yeah. Oh, we're definitely on street tires, and we almost spun a little bit right there as well. This is a car that I've tried to drive in many other video games, and I've had a really hard time doing it, and I don't expect to have anything less than that here today. Plus, it's kind of hard to go from a 718 to a 190 anyway, so we're doing our best here. We're doing our best. Oh, it is spinning there. That corner just eats me and shoots it right out every single time. Promise it wasn't what it was gonna sound like, but there it is. So this is definitely gonna be a brake in a straight line, like a good boy, and go for it. Definitely one of those, I'm a good driver, and I know it, because you can get around a whole lap without having any issues. Yeah, there's really not a lot to this car, to be honest with you. So why don't we just enjoy a lap of it, shall we? Let's do that. So I've done more drifting than I wanted to on that lap. but it does seem to be an okay car to drift. I'm not a drifter, so we're gonna go through here and see what kind of trouble we can get into in this corner. I know that I can get the rear to come out in second gear. No, not quite. You know what, it is what it is. But it is a fun car, it's planted, it feels heavy. It wasn't a very light car. Not bad at all. All right, what's next? If you're cool with it, I'm just gonna kind of go back and forth between the two tracks, and we'll go in alphabetical order. So with this one, we are starting with Traction Control 3, ABS 3. ABS goes all the way up to 11. Of course it does. And then our traction control goes all the way up to 7. Brake bias is at 66%. Sound is incredible. Let's put her at first, and we will putter along. Taking it easy going into here. Now this is un race car, so I'm interested to see. Oh yeah! Uh-huh. Yep, that's cool. Let's go down. Let's see, fifth. Fifth's enough, but man, we do not have the traction coming out of there. Oh man, I need to go faster with it. Much faster, much faster. Oh, it sounds so good. Oh, it's only got 6 gears. That's it, man. That's it. Default settings so far seem pretty good. Having a little bit of trouble seeing out of it, but maybe that's just the monitor I'm on. I don't know. It's a 49-inch TV, so I should be able to see okay. There we go, down into second. Sounds are great. Oh, come on, turn it. I definitely had traction control doing its thing right there. Let's see if I can turn it on. Yeah, we can still turn it on coming out of there in third. Not too bad. All right, should be able to go around this in fourth gear. We'll see. Let's see. Let's not give it too many beans yet. And all the beans right there. There it is. There it is. Go, 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 go. Not bad. Yeah. All right. So it's starting to feel a little bit lighter, a little bit more maneuverable. I don't have the wheel doing much crazy stuff. This definitely is a tamed racing car. I think if the Stig had to pick a car, this would probably be one of them. It just feels like it drives the way he would want to drive. It did not have the grip I wanted to out of there, though. That's on me, I guess, isn't it? I'm getting a lot more yellow and red in areas that I wouldn't expect. So that tells me this has more power than it does grip / downforce. So there's that as well. How's about we hush it up? We'll stick it out at first, and let's get around this track. Here we go. something I've been noticing, the front tires took a while to heat up. They were not even warmed up by the time we got done with our outlap. And not only that, they were undercooled. Like my front left right now is way too cool. And then I'm gonna go around this corner right here, and because it's too cool, I don't have the grip, but now it's warmed up, and now the outside right isn't cool, and now they're both cooling off. So the tire that we're using on here, I don't have the grip that I want. That's why I didn't have the grip, because the front tires are not what I would want on a car like this. It's a race car. Put some race tires on it. All right, let's move it along. I probably should have chosen something completely different. I think this is the wrong car for the wrong track and the wrong track layout. What we've got is we have the other layout for this. What was the layout called? I don't know. It's the Red Bull Ring, the other one. We do have traction control. 5 seems to be a good spot. I'm gonna put it down at 4 just to see what happens. Brake balance is at 56%. I'm gonna put it at 50 because that's where I like to run. And we'll give it a... and we'll drop it and put it down in first and see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into. So with this, because it is running automatic boy, we don't have ABS if you missed that from last week's video, and also it has automatic clutch. Well, I've got automatic clutch turned on, so because of that because I've got the clutch turned on, that means this is definitely the wrong circuit for this car. But because of that clutch right there, I can't even talk, it's going so fast. Because the clutch is on, it doesn't take off very well. It just is what it is. Oh, it's awesome. We're already around. Oh, you can hear it just bouncing off the walls. Yes. This is also really easy to lock up the front wheels. I think much easier than it is in the F1 game. And that game's pretty silly, if you ask me. This was just the most worst track layout for this. I wanted to find something cool, but this wasn't it. This wasn't it. All right, yeah, sweet. Should we get back on track and do noise tests now? I think we should. Let's listen to the noises it makes. I mean, it sounds good, but yeah, I wanted to try, you know, we got a bunch of new tracks. I wanted to show it off on a new track, but yeah, I think we got to pick a different track. Traction control, by the way, super duper good. It is hanging on there for dear life. I'm going to turn it down just to 0 so you can see exactly how silly it is, and drop it. Yeah, right there. Traction control 1. It still is pretty rough. Let's see. I imagine it'll probably spin out through here, but give it a try and see just how I've been driving. And yeah. So that's not it for this one. Let's go somewhere that is. If ever there was a car that was made for a track that had nothing to do with Red Bull, I think this would be very close to it. a Ferrari F1 car in Imola. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Oh, yes. Ha ha! Let's go, baby. Well, if my driving was a little bit better, I think we would have get the idea here. But hopefully you get the idea as well. Man, just screaming down the main stretch right there. So good, so good. I've driven around Imola in a couple vehicles, and this was one of the first F1 races that I called this past year as well. Of course, you know, I expected... oh man, I expected Ferrari to win everything, but then they didn't. Shocker. There's one other thing I wanted to look at really quick. So we've got like material effects. We've got all kinds of stuff. I don't see any flat spots on the tires. Oh no, the flat spots are definitely on the tires. Trying to like force the flat spots. Look at that. Hell. There it is. There it was. You could actually see the flat spot on the tires. Ah, that's so cool. It's kind of go, oh, brum, brum, brum. You can see exactly where that flat spot was. Let's speed it back up real quick. I want to get down right to the edge, and then we'll kind of, right here is fine. There. Oh, that should be, oh, that is one heck of a flat spot, dude. Yeah. So cool. Now this ought to be interesting because I have never driven a Dallara before. Let's see. We actually have, is that ESC 0? No way. So we don't have a way to push the brake balance. It doesn't look like, but we are able to change up the ABS, the traction control as well. I wonder if I can figure out how to change that ESC. Got it. And we are all set. Basically, it's just 0 or 1. Now, I'll be honest. I'm assuming that is electronic stability control. That is a big assumption, I think. ABS looks to either be 1 or nothing, so I definitely want 1. Traction control is 0, 1, or 2. So let's just max everything out and see what kind of troubles we can get into and see if Spa was the right choice for this car. Coming down into here, let's see. Just judging off of it, I think 4 is going to be the better one to go for. Not bad. Ooh, it sounds pretty good. Let's turn that traction control down 1. So we'll leave it at just 0. Those sounds are awesome. This is why the convertible that I chose to buy in real life, well, is a convertible. What sports car? I drive a Miata MX-5. All right, it's nothing crazy, but I love it. Speaking of loving it, this thing just goes. I've got cold front tires right now, and I have incredible grip in them. Also, Actually, everything's kind of cold right now. Probably should have started them at a higher pressure, but it is what it is. I feel like I'm ready to race. I'll be straight up with you. I am so ready to race. The car sounds super good. I think out of everything other than the F1 car that we've driven today, this is my favorite sound. Probably because it's got such a big turbo in it as well. I'm not gonna kid around. Also, that rear wing in the back is definitely helping. You know what? It's good, man. It's good. Let's turn off that ESC and just see if that makes any difference whatsoever. Ooh, I mean, maybe, you know, maybe. Let's see. Oh, yeah. That ESC is definitely working. So we'll try and turn that back on. Maybe we'll leave it off for the lap just to see how much trouble we get into. We have done 5 of the 6 kilometers in this racetrack. Go, go, go. So not too shabby. The stability control I definitely wanted to leave on, and I've noticed that something... Uh-oh. Don't lift off going that fast in turn. I've definitely noticed that there's a point where if you are not in a straight line or braking or whatever, when you are upshifting or downshifting, you get a nasty, just like, it's like somebody grabbed the rear wheels and stopped them and then plopped them back forwards. So there's that. With the ESC, with traction control, with everything turned on, it's not too bad. I'm gonna turn the ABS off. As a matter of fact, we're gonna turn everything off right here and then slam on the brakes. Oh yeah, we're definitely sliding. Well, she ain't the prettiest vehicle in the world, but we're gonna give it a try anyway. Come on, click it. There we go. Are you ready? So we've got nothing. The only thing we've got is a brake balance, which in my mind is way too far forwards. So we're gonna bring that down to about 60. I'm a little bit happier there. Engine's a little weird. The at the top. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Alright, so here we go. And pit limiters off. So I've driven these at a couple video games. I'm rarely... Oh boy. We should do that again. So as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by the worst wall in history. I've driven these a couple times, and what I've never been was impressed with the way they drive. I don't know. I just don't get this car. It's not pretty. It doesn't drive great. I never enjoy myself when I'm behind the wheel or in other games behind it, because if I'm playing really anything off of a track, like let's just say like a Forza Horizon-esque kind of game, let's be real. I'm playing from behind the car, and it drives bad then, and it seems slow and drives bad now. No, I'm kidding. For real though, it drives okay. I don't do well on this side of the car, so maybe if there was a left-hand version, but I know where this is made. There's not a left-hand version. Ooh! And I can't, well, I can't drive this one either, can I? So there's that. Alrighty. That happened on the formation lap. I blame the right-hand drive. It is what it is. But yeah, it seems to be working okay. The sound is great. Now that I'm like on the track, the sound is really good. I'm enjoying the sound. We're able to get pretty close to the apex there. Speed is not an issue. Ooh, baby. You should be a good driver if you drive this. Because there are no driver's aids, because there is nothing, it is quite challenging. It'd be even worse if the brake bias was all the way back. I know I said that I was gonna drive them, you know, the way they're supposed to be, but not this one. No, sir. But let's listen to what it sounds like on the main straight. You know, some cars just don't fit some people's driving styles. And I understand that my driving style is rough on the best days. And this car is unforgiving. It kind of feels like it drives the way it normally would. I'll be honest. Moving on. I think we move on. Yee-wee. That's a wall. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like Spa is the best place to try to drive the E30. It is gonna take like 2 or 3 minutes to get around this whole track. I'm convinced of it. I'm convinced of it. I don't know, man. We're at least back on the proper side of the car to drive, but woo-hoo-hoo. Let's see how much trouble we get into over this one. We're still at kilometers per hour. I still don't know how to change that. Hopefully they've added that in a setting for this game, but I don't believe they have. All right, up through here. Do we keep it in 4th? Doesn't matter, I'm going off anyway. Well, 3rd definitely wasn't the answer there. ABS, it appears, is just on all the time. Otherwise, yeah, I think we're okay. By the way, the Caterham, I couldn't get the wheels to lock up. I was trying. It didn't say anything about an ABS. But, oh, this is heavy. This is really heavy. I can't drive this like I've driven everything else. At least the tires are warmed up now. Improperly, but they are. Yeah. This, I mean, M3s are not light. And this certainly is an M3. It's on street tires, I believe, as well, so that's not helping. But the thing is, there's not enough power to kick the rear out, so what kind of trouble are you going to get yourself into anyway? I think once the game is out, once we can do a little bit more customization, have a little bit more fun, this, with a little bit of weight reduction, shouldn't have downshifted there. A little bit of that, and maybe some better brakes, and a better suspension, and maybe some club tires or something. I think that will be a lot of fun. It's just so heavy. Oh, it's so heavy. I'm not braking enough going into the corners. It's just a constant sea of yellow with these little arrows in front of me. I hate them looking green because that means there's more that you could do. But yeah, there's not a whole lot more I could do. Into 4th here, it does. It kind of just makes you want to be like, let's go, come on, come on, come on, come on. Into 5th, and all it's got is 5 gears. Quite a few of the cars we've driven today are only available with 5 gears. Into 4th, nope. No turning, got nothing through there. But the tires are handling the heat okay. I'm gonna slam on the brakes here. ABS working a dream. So we're gonna go into 1st and let's do a lap with some sounds. There you go. This is a big, heavy car. Decent amount of power. I mean, it's doing cool. It's just, you know, in its current form, it may have been acceptable as a street car then or race car then, but not quite now. So we're gonna mix it up on you. We got our M4 GT3 Evo here, but we are not on the track that we would have been otherwise. So a couple things that we've got here: traction control and ABS both go all the way up to 10, though it does seem that both around 5 is pretty cool. Brake balance is quite high. Let's see if we can get that thing down. I shouldn't have this on a rolly knob. It's not where to do it. Rev it. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. All right. So, I don't remember where we're at. Brands Hatch. That's it. Boy, oh boy. Tires cold, tires cold, tires are cold. Made mistakes. I wanted to come here because I felt like this was a track that this should do pretty well in. And not only that, yikes. Not only that, but most of you probably know your way around this track. And you probably saw me driving this car the other day. It is a great car. It drives good. It sounds good. There is not a whole lot that I've got to say about this car other than it's awesome. We do need to get the wheels up to temperature. The steering could be better. Yikes! And so could I. But it is a great driving car, and the sounds that come out of it are just awesome. It's also got the blah 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 blahs when you got all the rear. Now I did mention at the beginning that I was not a fan of those, but in this car, yikes, we have immediate damage. Oops. We were coming around anyway, so it's totally fine. I think I'm gonna turn my traction control up. I don't know why I feel that way. It's just how I feel. I'm also gonna turn my ABS down a little bit. I feel like maybe it was a little bit much. Now this is an outlap. However, I say we go with the sounds of silence for me and car for the car. I think this car might be my favorite that we've driven today. It does what you want it to do. It feels nice. It sounds so good. The tires, they just bite. That current turn, maybe not. There's not a lot of heat in that front right at that point. So that's probably why we just not quite enough temperature there. It's also a pretty big car, but it feels light as a feather in the game. And I think for that reason alone, with a lot of grip, a lot of power, feels light, and is a little bit on the larger side, I think this is going to be easy to drive for a lot of people. It's not too much. It doesn't feel, you know, crazy. You can turn it. You can see both sides of the track, which you know, can freak people out if you can't see both sides of the track. It's a cool car, man. It's a very cool car. And also between second and third gear, it drives kind of the way I would want it to. With, you know, third gear, it's got a lot of torque there at the very bottom. So with a turn like this where I would want to put it in second, I could leave it in third and it pulls right out without me having to go all the way down and risk, you know, doing anything wild and crazy with it. Speaking of, we're gonna take this at third, there we go. And then up here, we're gonna take this corner in third. This is as bad as it gets right here. I would definitely put this at second. But look at that! It does it fine. And then now we're here into third, perfectly fine. Another turn up here where I would normally go into second, at least with the gearing in this car. We're in third. And it just pulls. I love this car, man. I love this car. I apologize to anybody that wanted me to drive on the Red Bull Ring for the last race. Not happening. So we have 2 levels of ESC. Looks like we've got just ABS all the time and 2 levels of traction control. This is not a race car. It is a state car for the road. Let's gun it. Now, how are you not gonna fall in love with that sound? Yeah. Let's see. We are in mode 1. Can we change out of that? No. Oh, the steering wheel is shaking. It's going like, ugh, every time I keep going out of this. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I imagine I have to go down into 4th for this. Come on, all-wheel drive, don't fail me, even though all-wheel drive is technically terrible for road racing, in my opinion, anyway. I don't even think I need, well, I'm gonna leave traction control on, just because I know me. Man, we are flying right now. Oh, ABS is interesting because it's like if there were 2 levels of ABS and it's on level 1, and you really wish that it was on level 2. Yeah, that's a very odd and interesting fact. You can kind of lock it up a little bit. ESC on 2, that's definitely doing some work here. I'm gonna throw it down to ESC on 1, just to see what kind of trouble we get into. Oh, now I don't have the brakes because the car's too heavy. It's a big car. Hit 3rd gear, it's just like, whatever, dude. I got a turbo. Can you hear it? I know you can. Big V8, big turbo. Go burr, go burr. Oh, it's just such a heavy car going around the corner there. Yikes. I wonder if turning the ESC up at all would help with that. I kind of wanted to turn that down, but wow, did all of that in 1 gear. That was fun. ESC does seem to be helping, but understeer is real. So, I mean, oh, that felt weird. Yeah, changing gears at the low end, it's like somebody just like hitting the steering wheel. That's odd. But only between 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Oh, no, that did it right there as well. I wonder if that has something to do with the all-wheel drive system. It's got to, right? It just has to. It's weird any other way. All right. Let's put on the brakes through there. And, of course, we're off. Nice. All right. You ready for the sights and sounds? One last quiet lap. Well, there you go. There it is. And I think I've been recording this for like an hour and a half. We're still getting like gearing there. Let's see. Traction control's interesting. I want to turn that off. Traction control off as well. It's got, does it really have launch control? All right, it does. And go. Nice. Okay, so up here we're about to find out how this traction control actually does, because I have so much understeer. It's not even funny. Look at that. Look at that. I could basically just be going straight. Yeah. Man, what about it? What happens if we're just dead standstill, let it go of everything, and then just gun it? Nah, go. I think just because it's all-wheel drive, it doesn't really matter. It just goes. But yeah, a lot of understeer with this. It's big, it's heavy. It's an R6, of course. But still very cool. I think it would be a lot of fun, especially if you're doing, you know, driving with your buddies, something like that. I think this will be a fun one, definitely. But it's just got way too much. It's way too heavy. It's got way too much understeer, and I could care less for all-wheel drive vehicles on tarmac. It's just not. It just doesn't make sense. Ah! Not gonna spin out though, is it? Yikes! Can I make it spin out? Can we do a donut? Do a donut! It's like, nope. I just want to keep hitting the wall. All right, well, whatever. So there we are. That is all of your tracks, your cars, customization. We read through the changelog for 0.3. I don't know if there's anything more that we could do. So if there's anything you want to see, let me know. This is the video that I wanted to make last week, the one that showed everything. Here's the new stuff. Here's how it works. Here's the new track. The track looks great. Here's the other track. Did I mention there were two? This is what I wanted to do last week, but instead it was me goofing off for 15 minutes, being like, I like this track of this car and I can't drive. I hate that that's true. Nonetheless, thanks for hanging out with me today. Hope you enjoyed this one. Drop a like. It had like all the stuff, so if you lasted this long, good on you. I've had to take 2 breaks during this video, so you did better than me. Nonetheless, have an awesome day. We'll see you in the next one.
To the bank, talk to him like all-star, ain't no missing my shot. In the game now, never losing my spot. Came from the bottom, got my eyes on the top. MVP, all-star, that's me. Sit back, watch me ball out. When I step in, bring the stars out. In my own pace, won't stall out. Made it to the top, now they all shout.